Hey folks, so this is the first part of my guide series. So this is basically the turtle build, as people call it, but I feel like it's more like a hedgehog or a porcupine, something that has thorns or spikes to deal damage, because that's the way you deal damage with this build. But this is my glass cannon build, and I want to just show how powerful this build is over my glass cannon, because this is like the glass cannon challenge tower that I'm doing. So I only use glass cannon. So I'm going to keep my cards the same. It's attack speed, damage, range, enemy balance, and cash. Obviously, if you were actually doing this build, you would want health, health regen, extra defense, and fortress. They're the main ones that you would want. Fortress is going to be the key for this build. That's the main card that you definitely want in there. Now, I'm going to show you a run with my glass cannon, and then a run with the turtle build, just to show the power of it. So my glass cannon, as you can see, I've already got some investments in here to increase, so it's not going from level 0. So in the run for glass cannon, I'm not going to actually upgrade anything because I've already got quite a few upgrades, as you can see, or quite a few upgrades for a base level account. If we go into defense, I don't have anything unlocked on any of them. I have obviously unlocked a few down the line. All you'll be needing for this build is thorn damage, defense percentage, and defense absolute. You can invest into health and health regen, but you don't have to. So basically, I'll go into the first run. This will just be a glass cannon run, and then we'll do a run with turtle build. So as I said, in this run, I'm not going to invest anything. I'm just going to let it run. This will be sped up, by the way. So there we go. Made it to wave 23 with my glass cannon build. It varies a lot with glass cannon because it depends if you can kill the ranged enemies basically sooner than they can hit you. Now, I've just leveled up my health, which is really nice, but obviously I'm not using it on this build. So just in regards to the cards, I'm just getting them all up to rank 2 for now, and then I'm going to go back to unlocking the next lab, just so that I can basically increase and do a bit better. I'm not getting all cards to level 2, it's just the ones that I use. I've meant to clarify that. So now we're going to do a run, which is just health or turtle build, and we'll go over it. So with the turtle build, it is a case of defense absolute is the main one you want to invest in, because as long as this number here is higher than this number here, they cannot hurt you. There is a small caveat to that, and that is the heat up damage from the enemies. So basically, every time the enemy hits you, it increases its damage. I think it's by 2%, I can't remember off the top of my head. So it's not going to kill you straight away, but the more it builds up, it will eventually kill you, which is why Thorns is useful. So Thorns just means that at this point, 20 hits off the enemy, you would kill them, full stop. I'm just going to invest in cash per wave for a bit, because tier 1 cash per wave is actually quite helpful, especially the more waves you go through. And then we want our coins per wave, obviously, because at the end of the day, the more coins per wave you get, the econ is better for like investing back into things later on. So one thing to be aware of as well with this is, because this number is higher than this, if an enemy does hit me, my health will not be touched. So health and health regen are not necessary. However, if you do upgrade them, it would give yourself a buffer. So if like the enemy attack did go over the defense absolute, you wouldn't die instantly. It might give you a chance to get another level in defense absolute and push like another wave or two. So basically, your bread and butter is defense absolute as high as it can go, and then what I like to do is push this thorn damage up to like 50%. Once it's at 50%, it's 2 hits to kill the enemies, and you don't really need to worry about going any higher, because obviously it caps out at 99, especially if you don't have any relics or anything like that. So there's no point of going above 50. Now, one thing to bear in mind is at the moment it's 20 hits. If I get this up to 10%, which is really cheap, suddenly 10 hits. And then it's like 12.5 to go down to 8 hits. So obviously it'll be 13. And then 15, you're down to, I want to say 6 hits, but I think it's 7 hits still. But yeah, so it doesn't really matter what the percentages are exactly. As you can see, I've got a lot of wiggle room here. 6.07 damage, 26%, 26.2 damage ignored. And obviously, because I've got my glass cannon build, my attacks are currently clearing enemies off, so I've not got to really worry about the thorn levels right now. But it is a case of I can invest in them now to help out. Now, one thing that I like to do with this build, which does really help, is because of the way that Defense Absolute scales with each click, so each click you do, it's going to give you a bit more health, or defense. I keep calling it the wrong thing, but yeah. So it'll give you a bit more defense stat each click, like percentage of what you've already got there, basically. Um, so what I found, a good rule of thumb is for defense percentage when you're increasing it to generally stop around half the price of the defense absolute, because that's basically the equivalent of like 0.5% of defense equals about half of like one of these clicks, if that makes sense. So the reason we're stopping at half the price is because you get half of the return compared to defense absolute. This is only for tier 1. After tier 1, defense is so much better than defense absolute, and that's just because the enemy's attack value scales much more after tier 1. But as you can see, so this is literally me doing this from not having anything invested in health tree whatsoever, or defense upgrades whatsoever, but I also have no cards equipped for the defense upgrades, and I'm still in like a attack build. And you'll see, I am going to speed it up from here, but you'll just see how much better this is, considering I haven't invested anything outside of run into this compared to how much I'd invested outside in damage, because I wouldn't be able to do all those upgrades in a normal run from scratch. Just to clarify that. So you'll just see how going from scratch here, if you were to do this, obviously you do need to unlock Defense Absolute and Thorns, so you'd have to do a few runs before you can actually do it like this, but you'll just see how easy it becomes with these. So I'll see you at the end of this run. As you can see, I'm at like wave 56, 57 now, and like my glass cannon build is still killing everything before it can touch my tower. However, obviously I'm getting hit by ranged enemies, which would normally kill me if I was doing my glass cannon. So it just shows off how powerful this build is. Like if I wasn't getting hit by the ranged, I would make it to like wave 58 without putting any investments into my damage tree, where it is at now. And obviously I only got to like level 29 last time. I'm calling them levels again. But anyway, so that just shows how much better it is to be defense absolute. I'm going to push it up because obviously that's getting a bit close now. I was investing in this to try and get up to 50% first, but honestly, whenever it gets a bit close, you can just tap a few times and you'll jump away again. And I should get to like 100 plus waves on this, no problem. So I'll get back to speeding up again. Ciao for now. Right, so now we're at the point where I can kind of show this off properly. I forgot to explain basically just how defense works. I mean, it works the same as every game, but I thought I'll just clarify. So I know I said as long as this number is smaller than this number, you won't take damage. Well, with defense, basically the way that it works, I'll put this over here so it's visible, is 35% of the damage that they do doesn't get through to defense absolute. So I've already put basically what's left. So they're at 1.8, so I'll just times that. So it's 1.8k, so 1,800, let's say, just to keep it simple. So they're only doing 1,170 damage, so that's 1,000 or 1.17k. So as you can see, there's actually quite a lot of leeway to get to the point where that's an issue. So you really don't need to worry about it. That's why you invest in your defense, because and it's why it's at half rate, because it's not as valuable as just doing this click. So basically, just make sure the prices are roughly this is half that, and you'll be completely fine. I'll see you at the end of the run. Hey folks, so just died at 290, and that's something that I completely forgot, and I guess it is one reason to go above 50%. So you saw the reason that I died there was to the boss, and it's because bosses can do 4 hits rather than just the normal 2, because Thorns do half damage against bosses. So arguably it might be worth getting it up to like 67%, so bosses can only do 3% damage. Just obviously that would be extra investment into your Thorn damage. But as you can see, without any investment, and I mean any investment at all, like not even in labs. I know my labs were offline, but I couldn't afford to run them before this run. So yeah, as you can see, defense not even touched. No defense cards. Managed to get to 290 compared to 29. That's 10 times the amount of waves, which is insane considering how much investment I actually have into damage, and the fact that I had damage cards on. So that's everything for this build. So I hope you found it useful. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. This is going to be part of a bigger video as well, but it's just a case of I wanted to show off like all the different builds, and I figured whilst I'm at this stage on my baby account, I figured it's a good time to actually go over the turtle build. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Ciao for now.